Okay, this is Kevin Turley here, and we're gonna do an interview with Mandy Vanity about
Hi.
her songwriting
Yeah.
and producing experiences.
Oh yeah.
Mandy, you have an album coming out in spring of 2012. Are you
Mhm.
excited?
I'm very excited. It's been a
What
long time coming.
What's the album gonna be called?
Fairy tales and nightmares.
Fairy Tales and Nightmares.
Mhm.
So we're gonna ask you some questions now to see what it's like.
Sure.
What's the best experience you have in all your recordings?
Best experience I've had in all my recordings is actually probably the fact that I figured out how to overlay tracks on my own and how to you know make instrumentals with my keyboard and just work with other artists like J.J. Demon and Taylor Joel and um, this kid Tyler Smith. I actually figured out a way to get collabs with good new artists, and J.J. Demon is one of the good new artists that I'm working with. Actually, he's amazing, and yeah. So, anything else you want to ask me?
What is your most recent song that's been written that's going on the album?
The most recent song I would probably have to
That's
say
going on the first album.
on the first album. Well, I did a song called "I'm a Freak," and that was probably the most recent one I wrote. Um, that was the last one I actually wrote for the album, but I actually specifically wrote it for me and JJ Demon, which will be on the song with me. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's a good song, and I think that people will like it. Sex sells, right, in the music industry, so we're
Yeah.
doing it that way. Yeah.
What is your very first song that you have ever written and ever sung publicly, or on YouTube or anywhere?
Phil Collins, "In the Air Tonight." I sang that on YouTube, and then I actually did some weddings, and I sang, love songs at weddings, ballads. I've done ballads. I've sung in this little event in my town called Village Idol instead of American Idol. I actually
Yeah.
won second place, and I sang "Take My Breath Away" by Jessica Simpson. So it was pretty good. I've had a lot of experience with singing and drama. And,
Yeah.
in the past, I was in choir all my life. I had piano lessons growing up. I played piano. I played keyboard. Musically, I've always been very in tune with my
Yeah.
life. So
From what I understand, you've been singing mostly your whole life. I mean, as far as I can remember, and is that what you choose to go on with and what you feel comfortable doing?
yeah, I mean, music's not for everybody,
Yeah.
granted, but everybody does. Music is not for everybody,
Mhm.
and there comes a point in your life where you're like, well, a lot of things aren't for everybody. I was a hairstylist.
Yeah.
Doing hair isn't for everybody. I
Yeah.
started to hate it. I grew to hate it. I would rather do what I love than do what I don't love,
Yeah.
and that is doing hair. And I still do it on the side to make money, but I mean, I also went to medical assistant school, so at first, when you're first starting out being a musician, you have to have another job as well, just to make ends meet. But
Yeah.
when it comes to in the long run, music is what I really want to do, and I'm already gaining fans, and not that many, but I do have a small fan base, so that helps a little
Uh-huh.
bit. Getting into the industry, working with other artists who have a huge, bigger fan base, that helps getting into the industry. It's not always about what you know in the music industry; it's about who you know. So, just getting to know some of these other artists and working with them, and actually helping my career too. So
Yeah.
working with them is not only fulfilling for them, but also very fulfilling for me. So.
Yeah. From what I understand, when you're in the music business, you have to go poor to get rich. How's that going for you? How's your financial
I mean, you do have to go
business?
poor to get
Yeah.
rich. You do. I
How,
mean, it's about promotion. You have to put in money. As far as when the album does come out.
it's not cheap to make an album or
Right.
anything, so but you took on that challenge and you were
Right.
hoping you would at least, if it doesn't work out, make enough money to get your money back that you put into it.
Well, not only that, but I'm not a mainstream artist. I'm
Yeah.
an indie artist, which means we're independent. We're independent contractors.
Uh-huh.
We don't have other people paying to get us promoted.
Yeah.
We pay to promote ourselves, and this can be thousands of dollars in the process.
Yes.
So definitely doing music is expensive for
Yeah.
you at first.
And the music industry
No.
obviously isn't for everyone. Some people do have great talent to sing, and some people just don't. And I was in the studio with you, watching you record one of your songs, and from what I see, it works great with you. I love your producer. I love the studio, and you're doing great at it, and it's something that you're gonna make happen, and you're gonna make it good when it does come out, when your first album comes out.
Definitely. I think that there's a lot of undiscovered talent in the world,
Yeah.
and I'm one of them.
Yes.
And being that I did not go about a lot of the other artists and just, go mainstream or send my demos in any mainstream producer, which might happen one day. You never know what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. But as far as the producer I'm working with right now, he's amazing. He guides me as I go
Yeah.
along. It's not an easy job, but it's a fun job, and no matter what, no matter how hard they push you, they're doing it for a reason, so
Yeah.
that you can improve your talent. There's always room for improvement, no matter how good I am or how good other people think I am. There's always room for improvement, no matter what, and that goes for anybody.
Seeing you in the studio, it shows when you had to keep re-singing parts. It's not easy. For about 4 minute song, it took us probably a little bit over 2 hours, which, everything doesn't come to you at once. It takes time. We would work verse by verse, word by word almost, and then you go back and add things. And what's that like to you? Do you enjoy going back and making it better?
I mean, yeah, but it's frustrating at the same time because
Yeah.
I think at the point where I'm like, okay, but I wanted to sing it this way.
Yeah.
My producer's like, well, it's not that's not right. You need to do this.
That lyric doesn't exist.
That note doesn't exist. His favorite word, and so he makes me redo it. But the point is, I thought it sounded good, and you thought it sounded good. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, why? But then there's always a reason for everything, and sometimes recordings are definitely different than live performances.
Yeah.
At live performances, you can sing any notes you want, and it'll
Yeah.
sound good. It won't sound wrong. This is a live performance. It's your song, but in a recording, you have to be precise.
Yeah, and your producer,
So.
Steve, he has produced for many people, including Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, The Who, the Rolling Stones. They've all been in his studio.
Yeah.
And from his point, he does understand. He probably knows a little bit better that, it will sound better if your note's this high instead of this high,
Right.
how it ends. But then there's always your choice. You wrote the song, but he's just helping you to make it better, and you are totally supportive of that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting in that studio.
I mean, yeah. My producer's worked with them, and he's also worked with, like, R. Kelly.
Yeah.
He's worked with. I mean, R. Kelly recorded his first album in the studio I'm in, which I'm still kind of starstruck by the fact that I'm in a booth with the same recording booth as R. Kelly stood. Keanu Reeves has a band. He's recorded there with his band. Lots of.
And to know that you're standing in the same spot Michael Jackson was standing in maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you're standing in the same spot, which means he got somewhere, and recording at 35th Street, it's not a studio that anyone can go into. You have to have some kind of talent to go into it.
Right. It's a very anonymous studio too, because a lot of the stars, they like to come and they like to hang out there. Especially when Steve knows you have potential talent, he's gonna say, okay, come in here, do this here.
Yeah.
Do this recording here because you have talent and you're gonna go somewhere. You're not putting money into this to lose money.
Yeah.
You're putting money into this because you're good, and you're gonna gain money. And Steve even told me from the get-go, if he didn't think that I had what it took to do this, he would have told me to go home and buy myself a karaoke machine.
Exactly.
That's how the music business works. Lots of people think they're good, but they're not good. But Steve said, I see something there that, you're amazing, and you need to continue on and do this.
Yeah.
And this is yours. This is for you.
Steve's an older guy. He's not. I mean, he's not fresh out in the world. He's been in this for a long time, and he understands. And he's helping you in great ways, and he's making you better, and you're helping him realize other things, and it's just all working together, and it's coming down to one album in a few months,
which I'm stoked about. I don't think that if I didn't find Steve, because I definitely did my research about finding the best producer locally. Chicago isn't local for me. It's about an hour away, but I'm not going to tell you where I really live because it's none of your damn business. But Chicago is not local for me. It's about an hour away, maybe a little over, a little less, whatever, than an hour away. But
it's a great
Chicago
place to
record. It's huge.
Yeah.
And there's so many studios in Chicago, but it's about finding the right one, especially when you're an indie artist just starting out, trying to get your name out there.
Yeah.
That's where you go.
And Steve is totally supportive, and he, the people you work with, he looks forward to working with you. He's not the kind of person, when I have time, I'll work with you. It's what needs to be done is done. It's not about time. It's what needs to be done.
Right. And he's like very good about keeping up with things. If I call him and say, hey, Steve, there's a problem with this track, we need to fix it.
Yeah.
He says, okay, we'll get right on that. You know, next time you come in, we're down, we're on it.
Yep.
You know? And he doesn't waste my time, I don't waste his time, and when we're there, we work.
Yep.
It's work. You know, regardless of people saying, oh, that's not a real job, you're a musician. You're broke, obviously. Well, yeah, of course right now I'm broke.
Yeah.
But when it all comes down to it, it's going to pay off in the long run. It could take 2 years, it could take a year, it could take 10 years. Point is, it's not going to take 10 years, people. I'm working with a real producer. Not just playing shows at a local bar, which a lot of people just do that, and that you don't get anywhere. But,
it's helping you along. What was that song we were just in the studio recording? What was the name of that song?
P-H-U-Q-U.
P-H-U-Q-U.
Yeah, it's Back from the Dead. P-H-U-Q-U is Back from the Dead. P-H-U-Q-U is fuck you. Spelled in my own way. And it sounds like a university. A lot of people say, you know, P-H-U-Q-U, that sounds like the University of Douchebags. I say, yeah, pretty much, because it's about a douchebag. The song is definitely about a douchebag.
Exactly.
So,
would you like to sing or rap one of the parts?
Rap? Sing, I'm not going to sing my own songs because that'll ruin the surprise.
Exactly. Would you like to sing something to show everyone what it's like right now?
Sing something. Okay. I get all shy, like, we're going to sing live, everybody. You want to see Mandy sing live? That'd be a real treat.
What's one song that you know that you would be able to sing? Just a little clip part, 20 seconds or something you could do right here for everyone.
Okay. You want me to do the singing or the rapping first?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just anything anybody would like to hear.
Okay, hang on a second, because this is going to be amazing. Hold on, I got to find something first before I do this shit.
But while this is happening, we can continue to talk.
We can just talk, yeah. We can talk to you guys. I'm just doing something. How
does it feel to know that you are going through all this with yourself? There's not, there's people going with you through it, but you've done most of this on your own.
It feels good. Like, how many people can say that they didn't get help from anybody?
Yeah.
That they weren't just like discovered and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say that, and to be honest, not a lot of people even try.
Yeah.
I always say embrace your dreams, because obviously you should, and you should go for what you want to do. And if you don't, go for what you want to do, you're just going to be a failure, because you're already setting yourself up to fail when you don't try.
Yeah, trying. You won't get anywhere if you don't try. Who has helped you do this most other than Steve? We all know Steve is like the biggest help in this, otherwise you would have no one to produce you. Other than Steve, who would be, which is her producer, who would be your most emotional support during this?
I don't know. I'd have to probably say my DJ Jaime, because he's he's going through a lot of it. He wanted to get
Yeah.
in the music business, and I hired him on as my DJ.
Yeah.
And so now, not only am I living out my dream, he's living out his dream, because
Yeah.
now he's my DJ, and so he's gonna be with me for all the gigs, all the tours, whatever
Yep.
goes on in the next year or two. More than that,
Do you have a tour planned out